Hello everyone, this is Judith with another video. We are talking about twin flames. We are talking about your twin flame journey. And today I want to talk a little bit about physicality versus spirituality, right? And what this is all about, because we have been talking about money in the last video. If you haven't seen that, go back and watch, because this is so interesting. Money is an aspect of our physical reality, right? Of material things. And the thing that Spirit wants me to talk about today is the physical me is materialized spirit, so that we are, in fact, we are both, right? We are spirit and we are like made out of material. We are physical beings as well. So we should not reject our physical reality, but just acknowledge that we are always both. And this is a whole new paradigm, right? Because people have made a distinction between being on the spiritual path and then like being very much in the 5D and very much connected to soul and the mental realm, and not so much to the physical world. What is this all about? Well, it's first of all, things have accelerated, right? Things are like happening in an accelerated way compared to former times, because nowadays, once we are aligned with spirit, once we are aligned with our true essence, things happen fairly quickly, right? uh, it's like this magic number of 17 seconds. Maybe you've heard this before, that when you have a thought for 17 seconds, then another one like it joins, and so forth. And this is how you basically think and feel uh, um, things into reality, right? So that you can then see them, smell them, taste them, touch them, right? And that's what you want with your twin flame, yeah. So yeah, and there's a lot to talk about, but yeah, let's see where we get where spirit is guiding us today. So yeah, it's about us rejecting our physicality as well. And there are different aspects. One of the aspects that I want to point out is that there is a lot of shame connected to physicality, right? Because that's our bodies. And the way that we relate to our bodies nowadays is that there is always something missing, right? We're always supposed to be better in a way. And there are always improvements that we could make when it comes to our body, right? Exercising more, eating better, using other products, choosing other clothes, whatever, right? There's so many options out there, and of course people want to sell those, right? And what and it's, I'm not against selling, right? That's not the point, because it's wonderful to have great products. It's wonderful to have all kinds of things um, that are offered here, and that's basically wonderful to have this choice, right? And to be able to get all of those things. So that's not the point. But the point is that in order for us to uh, there would be two ways of looking at it. One is to enjoy the choice, to enjoy the offer, and uh, to just let this choice uplift us, right? Let it uplift you and let it delight you. And the other way to look at it is to to be pulled down by um, all the things that are perceived so much better than you are, right? Um, so there is a whole world out there, a world of Photoshop and I don't know what, and it is like uh, it's become more and more superficial, right? And I believe that now we're going down the other path. It's happening kind of in reverse, if you want, that people are looking for more depth. Because now with AI and everything, we've come to a level of perfection that, yeah, it's hard to keep up with that. And then the question is this interesting? Not really, right? We want to have human beings. We want to have people who are really talking to us, right? So yeah, and it's still for a lot of us on the twin flame journey a challenge to relate to our bodies in a good way. Do our bodies have to be perfect for this? Absolutely not. Yeah. It's just the reconnection with you. And when I was talking about pouring into self, and that's a part of this, right? A lot of the twin flame journey, a lot of the understanding of the shift that needs to happen is to understand that everything is happening in the now moment. So, of course, the now moment is determined by what has happened before, what am I used to experience, what are the patterns in my family, what are the patterns in the community, in the society where I live. All that is, of course, important, and all that also determines our physicality. But the now moment is also always the opportunity for us to change, right? To change our vibration, to choose something else. So we are free from one moment to the other, really, to relate to our bodies in a different way, and to let go of shame, for example, right? And this happens. We choose it from one instant to another. We choose it in the now moment. That's a better way to say it. And of course, it's not changing everything at once. Maybe this is working for some of you, but usually it happens over time, as I always say, by making that choice on a regular basis. That's not all, right? I always say that we cannot avoid like clearing our issues, like clearing our shadow, right? Clearing and transforming the energies, and that's something where I can help you, where I can really pinpoint what you need to release, what you need to transform, and do this with you, and help you to move. To move in an accelerated way, to move on in an accelerated way along the journey, because you might either have blind spots and not see the issues. And there are a lot of people out there who are like pointing out issues. You need to work on this, that, and the other, and they might read your energy and perfectly see where the issues are, but then what? Then how are you doing it, right? How are you going about it? And that's something where I can really make a difference. I know how to do it. I can show you also how to do it. And I would always try to give you something for you to continue the work also, right? Because I always say it's not me doing the journey for you, but just helping you along the way. You are a divine being. You are on a divine path. You're on a path to ascension. So you are like, you have everything you need, right? And at the same time, we need a hand here and there, and we also need to gather our tools to fill our toolbox, and then to be prepared to deal with triggers and to deal with the now moment as it is presenting itself to us, to get the maximum out of this now moment, and to be a deliberate creator, and to know, because the now moment is the point of creation, also is our point of power, and to really choose and know what we want to create, and then also to be able to do that, right? So yeah, and that's the physicality, right? Is the material world is a great gives us a great picture of where we are in relation to all of this, right? So it's like a boot camp. It's like a training where you can always like relate to the outside world, and then see how you are doing in terms of your vibrational set point, right? And one thing that Spirit wanted me to point out is that how the divine masculine energy relates to the material world, because there is a lot of efforting also going on for the divine masculine. Always the divine masculine, like traditionally, has been under a lot of pressure. It's the traditional role for the divine masculine is to be the provider, and uh, and the way that we provide in 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 a in a more divine way is that we realize, and that we really open up to the possibility and to the truth that the divine is providing for us, and we only have to open up and allow this to flow into our experience. Um, so, and this is something that the divine masculine also needs. Something that he needs to embody more, right? Because there is a kind of restlessness within the divine masculine energy, and also within the divine feminine energy, maybe for other reasons. But this restlessness, right? That this is a manifestation of the blocks, really, right? This energy of restlessness, and it really is the opposite of relaxation and of allowing things to happen. And of course, it's not easy, right? Because when you're asked, or you ask yourself to relax in certain areas, uh, it's sometimes not so easy, because can feel very challenging, can feel very threatening, and yeah, we say it, relax, yeah, but it's not easy, and you need a lot of trust to do that. So it would be a good idea to try it with smaller things, and this is something where the material world, well, everything is material, right? Everything is material and spiritual at the same time. But looking at the physicality, looking at the materialized, the manifested things in our world can uh, can be an opportunity for us to find out more about how things are working, and this is then also fun, right? So it's fun to discover that we are like we are our physical selves, our bodies, and we are those spiritual beings. And I want to remind you that the part that is not incarnated is much bigger, right? Much bigger. And we are always connected to, if we choose to, we can always connect to that part, right? It might take a little while to reconnect. It took a little while for me. I was pretty much pinched off and numb. If I can do it, you can do it for sure, right? Yeah, to be connected is very important, and then you get all your questions answered. It's always the it's like a a game, right? You are asking, and spirit is answering, and very often you see the answers outside, right? You ask something and you receive an answer. So be open to ask for first of all, right? It's fun to start this kind of a dialogue with spirit or with your higher self, and it gives you another, it makes you relate differently to the physical world, and that's something really good. And you suddenly realize that it's fun to do this creation thing and this choosing thing, and you can test it with smaller things in your life, right? Because the things that are loaded with a lot of desire, there's a lot of pressure. Also, when it comes to the twin flame journey, I have to be with my twin flame. That's my goal, and very often we forget that our twin flame is something that we have within us. We are one with our twin flame. There is there, and really with everything, because what we have inside of us, what we feel, is something that shows up in our experience, in our outer world. And that's also something that the divine masculine has to understand, and to maybe to experiment with, when it comes to the physical world and his manifestations, to trust and to let go of this kind of restlessness. That's for the divine masculine collective, right? And there are old male templates at work that are keeping the divine masculine busy here. They're keeping him like in this kind of angst and tension, that he has to fulfill some kind of a purpose, but really, uh, but really, he's also called to embody his true self and to connect to his higher self, to connect to spirit, and then in this alignment go after his desires, right? And in such a way they everything will bloom and expand, because that's, try it, it's just, it's true, right? It's once you have it inside of you, once you can feel it, once you are no longer focused on the problem or the absence of something, then it shows up, right? You might have experienced that with smaller things. So keep experimenting, have fun with this, and let me know what you think in the comments. All right, that's all for today. I wish you a beautiful day, a beautiful evening, night, morning, whatever, and I see you in the next video. Bye for now, everyone. Bye.